Sunny 95.
Welcome to The Reasons We Smile with Dr. Kvitko, the show that brings you man-on-the-street interviews, celebrity guests, groundbreaking research, and heartwarming stories about the reasons we smile. Our show is also known as everything you've always wanted to know about dentistry, but we're too numb to ask. Hello, I'm General Dentist Dr. Kvitko, and thank you for joining me today.
The following views and opinions do not necessarily reflect those of this station, its staff, management, or parent company. To hear a replay of this show or one of the great shows that previously aired, log on to thereasonswesmile.com or iTunes, keyword Dr. Kvitko or The Reasons We Smile. Listeners should not use Dr. Kvitko's comments and advice in place of an actual dental exam.
Brighten your life with a smile that shows the professional touch of Dr. Kvitko.
Time now for The Reasons We Smile with Dr. Kvitko. Call 459-9769 to discuss your dental issues. Now, here's your host, Dr. Kvitko.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to The Reasons We Smile. I'm Dr. Kvitko, and this is episode number 525. So, and by the way, if you want to access the other shows that we've done, you can go to thereasonswesmile.com. All of the shows we've ever done are archived there, and about the last 2 years have video, okay? So let me just say that today's show is going to be a continuation of last week's show. The show is entitled that we're bringing you things that happen in the dental office that make you laugh and some that don't. This will be considered part 2. I do want to mention that I'm looking for a dentist. So before I get going with the show, let me, if you know of a dentist looking to maybe make a change, someone who's been out for about 3 years at least, and or you're a dentist who's looking to make a change and has been out for about 3 years, I'd love to hear from you. We're looking for an associate or two because we're growing. Okay, that's a good problem to have, and we'd appreciate people reaching out. Okay, so now, if you'd like to follow me on Twitter, it's at Dr. Kvitko, and if you go to my office Facebook page and like us, that would be awesome. So besides going to thereasonswesmile.com and checking out this show and other shows, we're also streaming live on Facebook because I figured it out how to do it today. Seems like every other time I get it right. I think it's Facebook, not me. Okay, so now, and before we get started also, let me just remind people, maybe you're just tuning in for the first time. In about 10 minutes, we're going to give away free flowers from DeSantis Florist. And so I'm going to give you the phone number to have pre-programmed into your phone. It's 614-459-9769. And we're going to ask you a question. It's going to be based on the next things I'm about to say. So it's very simple. And so let's go ahead with the topic. Okay, so we did most of the fun things, the things that make you laugh last week. So unfortunately, a lot of today is going to be the things that don't make you laugh. Although I do have a few fun things left to tell you. Okay, so I was seating a crown. This was years and years ago, and all of a sudden, I couldn't find it. It's like, where did it go? A patient didn't think they swallowed it. We didn't hear anything hit the floor. There's no carpeting, so we would have heard something hit the floor. And I'm looking everywhere. You know, it's like I'm down on my knees, you know, looking under the chair, under my chair, under the patient. I had the patient stand up in case they were sitting on it somehow, or had them kind of shake their shirt just in case it had gone down inside their shirt, and nothing. So I'm beginning to think I have to start over, get a whole new impression and start over, send it to the lab. And I don't know what caused me to look, but I found it in the cuff of my pants. In the cuff of my pants. Go figure, it would have fallen right into the cuff of my pants. And everything was fine then. We were able to cement it, but we just kind of sterilized it and put it in. But man, oh man. But that does bring me to, sometimes it's not that, doesn't have a happy ending like that. So years and years ago, had an associate that had a crown disappear when they were getting ready to cement one, and couldn't find it, and so had to assume the person swallowed it. So what he did was he sent the person to urgent care for an x-ray, and the x-ray came back. The doctor at the urgent care center said, okay, it looks like you're fine, looks like it's in the stomach, so no problem, right? So at the end of the day, being the owner of the practice, I'm always curious about what's going on, and so I saw this big envelope with a big x-ray in it, and the patient's name on it, and so I took it out of there, and I held it up to the light, and I'm like, I'm not a doctor, but that doesn't look like the stomach to me. That looks like something different. And so I got with the associate and I said, you know what, you need to take this patient to the emergency room because I think this could be going into a lung. Okay? This, like I said, some of this isn't funny, right? So they went to the ER. My associate escorted the patient, and we paid for all of this, by the way. And sure enough, it was in the first branch of the right bronchiole. So not in a lung yet, but just kind of working its way in there, and the emergency room was able to use a scope with a little pincher on the end and got it out. Had I not noticed that, had we trusted the, the urgent care doctor, bad things would have happened. You know, it would have been, probably could have even turned into lung surgery. Who knows? Okay, so there's a happy one where we lost a crown and a not so happy one where we lost a crown. But I will tell you that there was another instance, this one on my patient where, it was my patient, but I wasn't in the room. My assistant was unscrewing an implant abutment because we were done doing our impression for the implant crown. And she comes out, I'm in another room, and she says, can I talk to you for a second? And I'm like, I've almost said, tell me now. But I could tell there was this look of fear on her face. She goes, I can't find the wrench. I think the patient swallowed it. This was just like 2 weeks ago. And I said, oh, man. You know, by the way, these wrenches have little holes in them, and we put floss in, so in the event that something like that happens, you can just grab the floss and pull it back. Crowns don't have that. They don't have a little hole in them by design, of course, right? This particular wasn't the whole wrench. It was the little nib that goes in the wrench. Think about your socket that goes on a socket wrench. And we have different sizes. And so there was no hole for floss on this. And I said, okay, well, take him to the urgent care, have an x-ray, and send it to me. And this was a case where he did swallow it. So we showed it to him on the x-ray, everything's cool. We put the crown in, I think it was actually earlier this week. So yeah, things happen. We try to do our best, and we do attach floss to all the things that you can attach floss to, but some of them you can't. You just can't. And okay, now here's one. Okay, so we had this little girl, and by the way, if you hadn't thought about this, little kids don't like going to the dentist for the most part, usually because their parents kind of have imparted their fears to them. But this little girl was specifically not really wanting to be there. And so we were getting ready to start, and each time I get ready to start, she go, wait, I'm not ready. Just give me a little bit. And after about 4 or 5 times of that, I said, okay, it's really time to get going. All we have to do is we're just checking, you know, I just need to count your teeth. She was probably about 11, so she wasn't a little bitty. Old enough to be able to reason with, you would think, and old enough to be able to, for her to tell mom what she wanted and didn't want. So anyway, after about 4 or 5 times of us being patient, I said, okay, time to go. We really need to do this. And so I go to put my Mirror and Explorer in their mouth, and for this, now it's sixth time, she goes, well, wait a minute, I'm thirsty. And I go, well, you can get a drink when we're done, because we really need to do this. Guess what? Mom sitting over in the chair goes, I think she looks dehydrated. Nobody looks dehydrated to me. Unless you're already looking like a raisin, you're not dehydrated. Would you agree? It just seems like. So anyway, apparently she'd figured out how to manipulate mom too. We eventually did get to do the appointment, but I just thought that, I mean, think about, can you tell when your child is dehydrated? I mean, maybe they haven't had a drink in a while, that'd be different, but I can't spot somebody that's dehydrated, unless they're all sweaty. They just ran a marathon or something. That's different. But just sitting in, 72-degree room, sitting there quietly. Anyway, and then this is the one. This next one is one that is probably the reason that prompted me to do this topic. Okay, so I'm doing an exam on a patient. Usually these are new patients, and I'm starting to write things down. I say, okay, go ahead and open. Let me take a look. And I get my Mirror and Explorer and I'm getting ready to look. And they'll start talking, and they take their finger and they'll go, oh, by the way, this one over here, and they're pointing on like the lower right, that one's a crown. And I say, oh, okay, well, thank you. But what I'm really thinking is, if I don't know that's a crown, you're probably at the podiatrist. You're probably at the barber. You're at the wrong place, because dentists know what crowns are. So, and again, I don't say anything, but I'm just like secretly, I guess not a secret anymore, is it? But no, secretly I'm kind of laughing inside. So Anyway, and like I said, that was the one that made me think, you know what? I should talk about some of these things that happen. And the same goes, and we mentioned one last time about when somebody has a crown come off, a tooth break. Tooth break maybe is different, but anything that happens in their mouth, and the reason they're there at the office, everybody feels the need to tell me what they were chewing at that moment. And by the way, it's almost always white bread and water, because usually your tooth gave way a month ago or 4 or 5 weeks ago, and what's happened yesterday was just the last little bit just kind of caved in. It's not what you were eating when it caved in, it's what you were eating back when it broke, but you didn't know it, or it didn't become obvious. Okay, so we have another one. Okay, now we have this one patient, very, very nervous about anything dental. I now know the story. She had gone to one dentist who, she was getting a filling, and she was starting to feel it, and she told the dentist, I think the numbness is wearing off, and they said, oh, well, we're almost done, and he kept drilling. And it was excruciating, and it kind of ruined her for going to the dentist for several years. And then she kind of went, so then she went to another dentist, and this dentist numbed her, and she didn't get numb, numbed her a third, and so like she'd numb, try to drill, she'd feel it. Numb a second time, try to drill, she'd feel it. Numb a third time, try to drill, and she still felt it. And she was like, you know what, I've just had enough, I just want you to stop. And so she left. And the reason I know this story is because she came to me after this, and we're able to work with her using sedation. But here's the thing, the reason this is on the list, that was a little background to why she's on the list, and that is she, when she sat in the chair and I walked in the room, was unconsolably sobbing. Just tears coming down, her face turned all red, just shaking. It was like, you have to see it to believe it. And, this is, for me, this is sad that she's been hurt or she's now fearful of dentists because of these other two experiences. But it is also something that I enjoy because I can do the sedation and I can get her comfortable. And we have gotten her comfortable. We've done several things on her since. Okay, so remember, we're going to do Dr. Kvitko's question of the day. And I said the question was going to be about what we just spoke about, right? So we spoke about a person having a crown that fell on what we thought was the floor, landed in my pants, on my cuff. People telling me, that, like I wouldn't know anyway, that this tooth is a crown. And the daughter wanting a drink and mom saying she looked dehydrated, okay? Anyway, before we do the contest, we'd like you to listen to this.
This station will not be held liable for any contesting during The Reasons We Smile with Dr. Kvitko. Participation in the contest allows Dr. Kvitko to record and broadcast your name and call. One winner per household. Prizes are non-transferable, cannot be substituted, and are subject to taxes and fees. This station cannot be responsible for the inability to enter the contest, whether due to equipment malfunction or telephone difficulties. All decisions of Dr. Kvitko concerning this contest or eligibility are final.
And now it's time for Dr. Kvitko's question of the day.
All right, and the winner's going to receive free flowers from DeSantis Florist. They'll be delivered to your place of business this Tuesday afternoon. Today, we are bringing you things that happen at a dental office that make us laugh and some that don't. What are some of the things that we've mentioned so far? Is it A, a child patient who said they needed a drink of water and mom said she looks dehydrated? B, finding a crown I was about to see it in the cuff of my pants? Or C, a patient pointing out to me that this tooth is a crown as though I wouldn't really know? Or D, all of the above. All right, the winner's going to receive those free flowers from DeSantis. The number to call, 614-459-9769. That's 614-459-9769. So go ahead and call now.
You won't believe it though. I want to hear your mind. And there's nothing else in the world tonight. She said people don't take the time. Hey, people don't take the time.
Hi, I'm Keith Carlos, winner of America's Next Top Model and star of Chocolate City 2. Look for my smile on the big screen this summer, courtesy of Dr. Kvitko. Stay tuned to The Reasons We Smile with Dr. Kvitko, the world's most interesting dentist.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kvitko, general dentist and host of the Reasons We Smile radio and roadshow. Did you know that you no longer need to visit several different dental professionals to get more complete dental care? We handle everything from cleanings and orthodontics to restoration, implants, and smile makeovers, all in my office. And now we have 2 locations. Get the most advanced technology and procedures available today. It's more complete dentistry.
Visit worldsmostinterestingdentist.com for more info about Dr. Kvitko.
Dr. Kvitko, let's go!
Hi, this is Richard Simmons. Dr. Kvitko's here, and he's going to help you with all of your problems. Are your teeth yellow? He can fix that. Are you missing a tooth? He can put a new one in. How is that?
That's very good. Thank you, Richard.
All right, we're back. We're doing Dr. Kvitko's question of the day. We have on the phone with us on hold, we have Kelly, Sharon, Sarah, and Mike. And I'm going to go with Sharon, which is line 2. Hey, Sharon, how are you? Can you hear me?
Hi.
Hi, how are you? Good. Do you have the answer to Dr. Kvitko's question of the day?
Yes, all of the above.
All of the above is correct. Hey, Sharon, am I wrong about dehydrated people? Can you tell if somebody's dehydrated if they're not sweating?
From what I know, you pinch their, like a fleshy part, and if it doesn't go back, if it's not plumped up,
then
that's how you can tell you're dehydrated. So
that's right. That's right. But only if you pinch them, not if you just look at them across the room, right?
No.
Anyway, are you a nurse?
No.
What do you do for a living?
I just read a lot, I guess.
What do you do for a living?
I work in an office.
Okay.
I'm a management assistant.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, stay on the line. We want to get the information where we can send you those flowers from the Santas, okay?
Yay.
Okay, thanks for listening and for calling in. Okay, if you're just joining us, this is episode number 525 of The Reasons We Smile with Dr. Kvitko. I almost said .com, which is the website, by the way. And we are bringing you part 2 of things in the dental office that make you laugh and some that don't. And so let me just go on to the list. Okay, so now, I don't know if you would ever believe this, but we actually have people without sedation who fall asleep in the dental chair while we're drilling on them. Isn't that cool? I mean, that's so much better than the one that was, shaking and crying unconsolably. But I had this happen about 2 weeks ago. I was working on this guy. He'd fallen asleep. I didn't realize it. A lot of people close their eyes when I'm working on them, not necessarily asleep, though. And then all of a sudden, he started to shake, and it's like he had fallen. He was dreaming. He didn't remember where he was, so he woke up in the middle. There you go. That might be considered a nightmare for some people, waking up and you're in the dental chair. But it's not really, folks. It's really fine. And so yeah, people fall asleep. So we have both of those extremes, people crying and shaking, and others just plain falling asleep. Now, I have this, there's this other story that happened. I have, as you know, I do sedation. I mentioned that just now. And so it's not just laughing gas. It's not just oral sedation. It's actually intravenous sedation. So it's a step below general anesthesia. I don't have to intubate people because they're not completely out, meaning I haven't eliminated their gag reflex. So if there's something in a person's mouth or in their airway, they're going to know about it, and they're going to cough or choke or do something to be able to breathe, right? But anyway, so when I finished with this one gentleman, I forgot what I was doing, but I had him sedated for the visit. And when he got up to leave, I happened to notice that his wallet or something was like quite a bulge in his back pocket, and I wondered how he'd been sitting on that the whole time without complaining. Of course, could have been that he was sedated, I don't know, and he didn't feel it. But anyway, we finished him up, said our goodbyes, and then we're cleaning up the room, to get everything put away where it belongs, and I happened to notice that my bottle of Demerol was missing. I couldn't find it. Where was it? And that's when I remembered that funny bulge in the gentleman's back pocket. Turns out it wasn't his wallet, it was the bottle of Demerol. So I immediately called the police because, this stuff is really tracked well, and I would be a suspect if I were to say, hey, I need another bottle of Demerol. By the way, I have to account for every CC that I use. We have to keep a list, and it has to be available at the front desk in case the DEA comes in. So whenever we use some of the narcotic medication, we write it down and we know who got it. And so, but I called the police because I said, hey, I don't want people to think I've been drinking this stuff. And he says, well, what's the patient's name? And I told him, and he said, no, we're aware of that person. We would not suspect you. And they reached out to him. I think they did arrest him, and I don't know if he spent a couple days in jail or whatever it was. But you wouldn't think we'd have to worry about that, would you? I mean, really, here I am all proud that I'm able to sedate people and make them comfortable for their visit. And now I have to worry about them stealing it when I'm not looking. I mean, I thought the guy was sedated. I mean, he was sedated. He must have woken up and been more aware than I realized. But anyway. Okay. So then, here's another one. I don't know if you think about this either, but when we're working on you, of course, you're focused on your comfort, how things are going. You know, is the chair comfortable? Can I breathe? Do I need to swallow? Do I have an itch? All of that. Do I need to use the restroom? What I'm focusing on, of course, don't get me wrong, I want you to be comfortable and all of that. I'm not going to work on you if you have to go to the bathroom. I'm not going to work on you if you're not comfortable. But when I'm working on you, I'm thinking, okay, I have to remove all of this decay. I've got this drill that's spinning 400,000 RPMs per minute. It slows down to 120,000 when I touch tooth, but that's still pretty fast. And so what I'm thinking is, okay, don't hit the next tooth. Don't cut their cheek. Don't cut their tongue, right? Just do what I need to do. And yet, you're thinking, I need to swallow, but you don't tell me. So then you swallow and, oh my God, here comes the tongue. I got to move my spinning drill out of the way. Or somebody goes to talk while I'm drilling. Or they fidget with their feet, which moves their head while I'm drilling. So those things are challenging. And it's something that every dentist deals with. Think about people who shake, maybe due to Parkinson's, or again, you don't realize it, but just like if you're taking you cross your legs while you're laying down in the dental chair, it moves your head. So anyway, these are some of the things in the dental office that maybe wouldn't make you laugh if you really think about it. And I know when I'm a patient at my, dental patient or a medical patient, I always try to be the best possible patient I can, because I want my doctor to do the best possible work he or she can. And I know their best chance of that happening is if I'm not getting in their way. So anyway, just a story from the trenches. and anyway, okay, so it looks like we are up against a break. You're listening to The Reasons We Smile, episode number 525, here with Dr. Kvitko, and we'll be right back.
You can't take me as I am, not just a little bit. I don't know who to be. I'm a paper cup, baby, on the sea. I know you see it too, 'cause you're too much for me.
This is Clark Kellogg. Stay tuned for more of Dr. Kvitko.
Estás escuchando con Dr. Kvitko aquí en su estación favorita.
Hi, I'm Dominique Reichert. Like what you hear? Why not use the show to promote your product or service by becoming a sponsor? Call 614-262-9588 to learn how. That's 614-262-9588. Call now.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kvitko, general dentist and host of the Reasons We Smile radio and roadshow. I've been honored to help several famous people get a perfect smile, like Keith Carlos and Dominique Reigard from America's Next Top Model, and Ted the Golden Voice Williams from right here in Columbus. Isn't it time you had a celebrity smile? It costs less than you might think, and most of the time, it can be done in one visit. A new smile can make a world of difference.
Visit worldsmostinterestingdentist.com for more info about Dr. Kvitko.
I'm Grandpa, and I go to Dr. Kvitko, and I still have all my teeth. Real ones. Where's my glasses?
All right, we're talking about things that make you laugh at the dental office and things that don't. And here's one I just want to get out there. So you would be amazed. Okay, so a lot of people find let's put it this way. A lot of people cancel their dental appointments, or they don't show up, or they'll call at the last minute. You'd be amazed at how many different excuses we hear. I'm beginning to think that simply having a dental appointment can cause you to get in a car accident, have a family emergency, cause your car to break down, cause an emergency meeting to have to happen, or cause you to come down with an illness, and even more. You'd be amazed because I would bet that, say, hairstylists don't deal with this because hairstyling is something people make an appointment for, they're looking forward to, or maybe a manicure or a pedicure. But something happens that when you make a dental appointment, everything lets loose. You get sick, your car breaks down. You'd be amazed how many family emergencies, how many people wind up in the hospital. And in a lot of cases, they're legit. They're in the hospital, but I don't know. I guess they weren't thinking straight because they were going to the dentist and something happened. But, we do, the funniest one that we've ever had, somebody canceled an appointment. This is the honest truth. They canceled their dental appointment because they had a toothache. It's true. It's true. And it's like, how can you do that? Well, when we talked to them, they said, I know this doesn't sound possible, but my tooth hurts so bad, I just don't want anybody messing in my mouth. So I guess I can understand that, but it's like, yeah, dude, but we're going to take away your pain. So, anyway, I bet you didn't know we'd get that excuse, right? Okay. Now, there's a group of people out there who, for some reason, they can only stand to have us drill or work in their mouth for just 3 or 4 seconds. It's amazing. I'll turn the drill on, and I'm literally counting. I started counting. This was 2 weeks ago, I think, 2.5. Had this woman in the chair, and I'd turn on the drill, and I'd get started, and within about 5 seconds, she'd put up her hand, and she'd go, my neck's a little sore. And we'd get her a pillow. I'd started the drill again. Within 5 seconds, she'd go, I think I have to go to the restroom. Or we'd start to drill again, and she'd go, you know what, my back's kind of stiff. Or I need to swallow, or I need to breathe. And I'm like, well, we're working in your mouth, and you breathe through your nose. So, and I've actually counted. I've actually added it up before. In fact, I had my assistant on that particular visit. I said, okay, I want you to keep track. You count. How long is my drill on? And I want you to keep track. So like if it's 3 seconds this time and 5 seconds that time. So we'll know just how many seconds we've actually drilled on this person. Because what happens with some of the people like her is they'll get out at the end of the appointment and go, wow, I can't believe you drilled on me for an hour. You know, like that's just too long. And we're going, no, ma'am, it was really only 1 minute and 32 seconds is all we had the drill on because that's all we could. Believe me, I don't say it like that. We keep that to ourselves, but that's the truth. So anyway, I don't know if you're one of those people, but just if you are, maybe try to give us 10 seconds before you need to shift your weight or whatever. Okay, so then something that you may not think about is a lot of people come in late. Now, it can be legitimate. Traffic, got up late. But it could also be I didn't really want to do this and I couldn't make myself leave the house and whatever, right? People tend to not be late for flights to Disney World. They tend to not miss those, right? But they tend to be late for a dental appointment or miss them. And so, but think about what happens if the first patient comes 10 minutes late and we see them. Well, there's a good chance we might be 10 minutes late for the next patient. Sometimes you can make up for a little bit of lost time, never at the risk of hurting somebody. But let's say the next patient comes late, and the next patient comes late. Before you know it, it's noon, and we're now 20 minutes. We're really trying not to be 20 or 25 minutes behind. And because guess what? That third patient's like they're upset at us because we're behind when it really wasn't us that got it all started. And if we say to that first person that came 10 minutes late, well, I'm sorry, we can't see you because you came late, they're just going to get mad at us and maybe never come back, right? That's not fair. I was only 10 minutes late and I had a good reason. So just something to consider. As a patient, my request would be that you come on time, actually come early. I once heard, and I truly believe, if you're on time, you're already late, right? If you're on time for a 9 o'clock meeting, you're probably not ready for that meeting. You just walk in the room and you're really not ready. So keep that in mind, if you will. Really appreciate it. Okay, a couple that I didn't get to, but it looks like that's pretty much... Oh, no, I do have a couple. I have time for one more. Okay. So then there's the person who says they can only sit in the chair for like 45 minutes to an hour. And I'm like, okay, what are you going to do when you get home? Well, I'm going to sit in the chair and watch TV. I go, well, we have 2 TVs here, one on the ceiling, one next to the chair. What's the difference? So I guess it's just a mindset. Try not to think of it as a dental appointment. Think of it as you're just home watching TV and we happen to be working on your tooth. And then the worst one to me is somebody that comes in late and then... about 40 minutes into this hour visit, remember they came late, so now It's we're working on them for 40 minutes, or maybe let's say 30 minutes. Let's say, oh, by the way, I have to leave 10 minutes early because I have a meeting. It's like, really? How are we supposed to do that? All right, I'm getting the sign that it's time to end the show. So, hey, real quick, if you're a dentist with 3 years experience, please give my office a call, 614-262-9588, or send us an email. That is all the time we have today. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Dr. Kvitko, and visit my office Facebook page and like us. It's Dr. Kvitko and Associates. Remember that all past episodes, complete with video, are available at thereasonswesmile.com. Be sure to tune in next week and every week right here on your favorite station. Goodbye.
This is Carly Red from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, the hit show on VH1, urging you to tune in next week with my dentist, Dr. Kvitko.
If you're interested in learning more about this and other dental health topics, go to thereasonswesmile.com to access full episodes of Dr. Kvitko's show.
If you'd like Dr. Kvitko, the world's most interesting dentist, to speak at your next event, please call 614-262-9588. That's 614-262-9588, or send an email